Back, and we are going to talk about how to make a fraction into a decimal or percent or vice versa. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so right here I have got some fractions. Okay, so if I have 1/2 and I want to make that a decimal and a percent, okay, there's a couple ways we can do this, okay, but I think I'm going to use a proportion for you guys. So if we want to know the percent, that means we want to get it out of 100, right? Because if you want to know the percent you got on your test, you want it out of 100. Okay? So we don't know this number. We know we want it out of 100. We want the whole to be 100, okay? So what we need to do with a proportion is figure out what we multiply 2 times to get 100. And you got it. We would take that times 50. So whatever we do to the bottom of a fraction, we have to do to the top. 1 times 50 is 50. Okay, so we know that 1/2 is equal to 50 out of 100. Okay, so now if I want to write the percent that I got on my test, you can see here that top number is my percent. I got a 50%. Okay, now to write it as a decimal, okay, we could read this 50/100ths. So we know that we can put that decimal and we need to go to the hundredths place and we put that top number in there. Another way, we could take a percent, and you can change any percent into a decimal, and the decimal is here in your percent, and you can move it 2 places to the left, making it 0.50 or 5/100ths. Okay? All right, so let's try another one, and let's try it that way. All right, let's do a proportion, and like I said, we want it over 100. If we have our fraction over 100, if we've found an equivalent fraction over 100, we can easily get these two. Okay, so what do we multiply 5 times to get 100? Or what coin is 5? That'd be a nickel, right? How many nickels are in a dollar? You got it, 20. So we're going to multiply by 20 on the top and the bottom because we do the same thing to both. And 20 times 4, count by 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80 is 80. All right, we're ready. We can do a decimal and a percent now. What percent did you get on your test? You got an 80%. Okay, and just like this one, we write it as a decimal. 0.80. Okay? All right, so remember, just set it up as a proportion. So if we had 3/4, we want it over 100. Figure out what you multiply times. Those are like quarters, right? We do the same to the top. 3/4 is 75 cents. Now we know what percent we got on the test. And we can easily change that to a decimal, guys. All righty. Remember, this is the key. Set your proportion up so that you can get 100 on the bottom. Okay? These are equivalent fractions, what we found. All right. Good luck, 5th graders, and we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.